Welcome
Thank you.
to the pod.
Thanks
for doing it. I know it wasn't your first choice to be like, ooh, I want to be on.
No.
You mostly were drug here against your will.
I'm just nervous.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just going to have a nice, easy, fun conversation.
Okay.
You wanted your husband to be here too.
Yes.
But, we'll just get you today.
Well,
Maybe we'll have another episode.
he's kind of the politician type.
You said he has the gift of gab.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He does. So,
I get it, but you don't feel like you do.
no.
You just
Well,
gab when you're nervous.
I just chatter. Yeah. Endless mindless chatter.
So, introduce yourself to the people, to the fans, our tens of fans.
Okay. I'm Lundy Byars.
Mm-hmm.
I was a client. I am a client.
Yeah.
Ongoing client.
Yeah.
You all renovated our bathroom.
Yep.
Now looking at a bigger renovation.
Yeah. Which would be amazing.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. So you live here in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. You have 2 kids.
I do.
Married.
Yep.
And your husband's a dentist.
Yes.
Sponsored by, I don't know the name of his dental practice.
Byars Dental.
Yeah.
We'll give him a plug.
Yeah, we'll give him a plug. And so we did your bathroom. Was that like 2 years ago? A year and a half ago?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, that beautiful bathtub you gave us, I maybe took 2 baths in that thing. And recently we've been trying to utilize it. I mean, it's so pretty.
Bathtubs are one of those things that, they look really nice, but like, how often are you using it? We have little kids still, so we use it. Yeah. We use our tub.
Right.
But I had a boss at the last place I worked, shout out Genesis, sponsor this podcast. And he took a bath every day.
I've been talking to another mom who she swears by taking a bath at night. She says she sleeps better. She has this whole routine, and so I tried it, and she's right. I slept way better.
I actually learned there's like this is getting into nerd weeds, whatever. There's like your body, when you go to sleep, it tries to drop, your core temperature drops.
Okay. And
so people feel like, I take a warm bath and then I can go to sleep. What's actually happening is you raise your core temperature. Then when you get out, your core temperature drops and your body's like, we're going to sleep.
Yeah.
But it's only because you elevated your core temperature that it's able to drop.
Right.
So, anyway.
Well, makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's just science. Okay. And your kids are how old?
I have a 10-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl.
Man, what do you think about that life stage?
Oh, I know. 10-year-old boy is physically exhausting.
Yeah.
The 14-year-old girl, we're getting through the more emotional stage.
Yeah.
She's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
She's on her way back.
I'm headed there on just a bullet train
emotional.
towards
Yes, you are. I think I told you that when she was in that stage, we a friend of ours told us to. She was in a stage of slamming the door. When she'd be mad, she'd slam the door.
Yeah.
And so we took the door off the hinges.
Sure.
And we said, you don't have a door anymore because you slam it too often. And she said, well, what about my privacy?
Mm-hmm.
And so we said, well, you can earn that back.
Funny thing.
And when Mike and I, we're not very handy. When we tried to put the door back on, we put it on backwards. And it didn't shut. But it was worth it. She does not slam doors anymore.
Yeah.
But,
lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, just as a parent, you try to teach lessons. Mm-hmm. I don't know the efficacy of those lessons, if they work or don't work, but definitely with toddlers, nothing works.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't know. But then my daughter just all of a sudden is turning sweet.
Yeah.
And she said, the other day I came down, we have like a home theater in the basement, and I came down there and it just smelled like caramel. And I'm like, what's happening here?
Somebody was having fun.
Yeah. So we have like a little shelf with like movie candy.
Oh, yeah.
So they had gotten the Minnie Mouse car, driven that over there, stood on the hood to get up to the shelf, opened a box of Milk Duds, and they were chowing down. So I came down and I was like, it smells like candy in here. Right. And my daughter goes, I did something bad.
Oh, she's your firstborn, isn't she? Yeah, that's a firstborn. Is she a daddy's girl?
She is. I mean, I feel like they go like in phases where like they just want mom.
Sure.
Or then they'll just want dad.
Yeah.
So right now we just finished switching Rhett into a big boy bed.
Oh, yeah.
So he got out of the crib because we have a kid coming in 4 weeks. So.
Oh, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, I'm not ready.
You're lucky. That's good. It'll be great.
It'll be great. Honestly, just having my wife not be pregnant anymore is going to be great. So
well,
she's
for her
so
too.
miserable. Yeah. Like she just hates. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's done.
Well, especially at the end, you're just ready to be done.
So yeah, we had to transition him out, but he's so funny. He doesn't. It's like he doesn't realize he can leave his room.
Yeah.
So he'll just open the door and then just yell, "Mommy!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
what?
He doesn't know he's allowed to just walk out, which is great.
Well, he's a rule follower.
Yeah, I guess.
That's good.
I don't know. It's funny how their little personalities develop.
Oh, I know.
And you see like things and how different our two kids are. They're so different.
Oh, yeah.
From each other.
Yeah.
So like you think you kind of like figure out with the first one, like, okay, we can do this. And then that doesn't work at all for the second kid.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with number 3.
Wild child.
Yeah, probably.
Probably just kind of.
That's what we get.
Have you ever seen those videos on, the little reels that show kids at ball games and the third child is just like running wild, can do whatever. It'll say like this kid gets to eat, concession food all day because it's the third child and, mom and dad are just busy with the other kids.
Yeah.
That's how it'll be.
Yeah. So did you have siblings growing up?
Yes.
Okay.
I have an older brother.
You have an older brother. How much older?
2.5 years.
Okay.
And he beat me up all the time.
Oh, no. See, that's what we're about 2 years between our son and our older daughter. Mm-hmm. And, violence is his method of communication most of the time. Yeah.
We grew up, I'm older than you, but when we grew up in the WWF era, remember that?
Yeah,
Hulk
wrestling,
Hogan?
Sure.
And we would wrestle a lot. And my mom, one time in high school, she took me to the local doctor in a small town.
Yeah.
Because I had this bump on my collarbone, and he checked it a couple of times, and he finally took an X-ray, and he said, "Well, you broke your collarbone at some point." I'm pretty sure my brother did that. A lot of headlocks.
Yeah,
and, I don't know. What was that move that you put the head under the arm and fall?
Yeah, I don't know, but he did it to you
all the time. Yeah. So he was rough on me.
Do you feel like you were able to fight back?
I would scratch him.
Yeah, nice.
Or bite. But I got in trouble because there was blood, and he just would break bones. No big deal.
You can't see the evidence.
Yeah, I would scratch him, and he'd go yell at mom, and I was in trouble because blood.
And you grew up in a small town, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hardin.
And how did you end up in Kansas City then?
Well, when I moved back, after college, I moved back home. My dad passed away suddenly, so I moved back home, and there's no really job opportunity unless you work at the bank or at the hospital there, or if you're a teacher. Okay. Because that's the main places.
And what did you go to college for?
Well, I went for recreational therapy.
Oh.
It was actually through the ag school.
Okay.
And my last year in college, I was like, I can't afford another year. I got to get out of here.
Okay. What do you do with that? Typically with that degree?
Well, so after college, I went to St. Louis, and I worked in a locked unit for children.
Okay.
At-risk youth. It was not for me. It was very hard.
Yeah, I bet.
It was difficult. But so I did that for a while. But anyway, I moved back home, and I needed a job.
Yeah.
And hospitals, you can work at hospitals. It's kind of you can work on units with like physical therapists and or occupational therapists, and that's what I did. I got a job at Independence Regional. Okay. And it was an hour drive.
And you were doing what?
Recreational therapy. And my job.
Like, what is that? Like, what do you do?
So what I did was when we're on a unit with knee and hip replacements and strokes, and whenever it was time for them to go home and get released, my job was to teach them how to use their assisted device before, like in the community. Yeah. So I would teach them how to go over curbs and get in and out of cars. And
how did you like that job?
I loved that job. Yeah. It was with older people, and that's actually where I met Mike.
Do you do well with older people?
I do like older people. Yeah, I do. Yeah. And I worked in long-term care for a while.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a activities therapist.
So wait, you met Mike at that hospital while you were, and why was he there?
He was trying to decide after college what he wanted to do. Okay. So he was deciding, does he want to be in the medical field? Does he want to be a physician or a dentist? And so he was working there on the weekends.
Okay.
And I think that was maybe his first year in dental school.
Okay.
So he was working there while he was in dental school.
Yeah.
I always tease him that I was kind of his boss.
Oh.
No, I wasn't really his boss.
Now you're really his boss.
We were both on, I'm his forever boss now. But on the totem pole, I might have been like half a step above him, and we were both at the bottom. But he would assist me on our outings with the patients.
Yeah.
So, and the joke goes that we had a patient who threw up on the outing, and he cleaned it up for me. So I thought, you know what? If he can clean up vomit, I mean, he would make a great dad. Yeah.
Wow, so you guys have been together for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you were right out of college.
Yeah, I was probably 22, 23.
And did you date for a long time before you got married?
Really long time. And I said, listen, buddy.
Yeah, get it together.
Yeah. No, we probably dated like 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
See, Katie and I dated probably 4 years, but it was all through college. So it's like, you're not going to get married in college, usually.
So you met her in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where did you go? Oh, you went to MU.
Yeah, I went to Mizzou. We both did. My best friend at the time was dating her sister.
Oh, wow.
And so he was telling me about this girl. She's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she got a sister?
Yeah.
And she did.
Aww.
So, he came to visit. He went to Mizzou too, but he graduated. And so they came back for like a football game or something. Okay. And he was with Katie's sister, Melody. Okay. So they were visiting Katie.
Yeah.
Because Melody came. And so I went to see him.
Yeah.
And met Katie.
Oh. What year were you at Mizzou? What year?
I graduated in 2011.
Oh, that's cute.
So she graduated the next year.
I was 99.
Man.
I know.
99. Yeah, I was in 4th grade. 99.
God. That makes me feel really
99.
good.
Oh, you were almost 2000 then.
Yeah.
Man.
I know.
That was a big deal when that happened. 2000.
Yeah. Oh,
they thought everything was going to crash.
Yes.
Were you a prepper?
No. Oh.
Do you consider yourself like someone who would be that type of person to prep?
No.
You just kind of take it as you come.
Yes, everything.
Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I work better under pressure. Yeah.
That's so funny. I do feel like people are different that way. Like I have.
Are you a prepper?
No.
You probably are.
No, I'm not at all. It's interesting to see how people react in different scenarios. Sure. I think like different people do better. Some people like really excel when they have time to like plan and prepare, and they do such a great job of prepping everything. Right. And other people like when they, what hits the fan, they're like they really come alive and they're like getting stuff done.
I only need half the information and let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ready, fire, aim. That's what I say.
That's that's parenting though.
Yeah, honestly, that's true. Yeah. Honestly, I'd probably be better off if I was more of a planner for my job, but
is your wife a planner?
No. We say all the time we need a wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because usually you balance each other.
Yeah, no, we are both the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Well, that's good.
See how the cookie crumbles.
That's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
It honestly, the nice part is we don't have that conflict of one of us is trying to plan and the other one's like, I don't know. I don't care.
Right.
Life's more exciting when you just take it as it comes.
That's right.
I think. So.
I was always that way with test taking too.
Oh, yeah, just get in there.
I didn't plan. I didn't study.
Honestly, I had an easy time in high school with school. Like it just came easy to me. So then when I got to college, I didn't know how to study.
Right. Oh yeah.
I didn't know anything about that, and it became obvious.
I think that would be my son. Things come easier to him, and he won't.
My sister was such a hard worker and studied and really tried.
Right.
And so when she got to college, like she had those skills already developed. Yeah. I got to college and I got my first test back and I was like, uh-oh, this is not going to work. Yeah. So that's interesting. So you met Mike. You guys dated for a few years, got married. And then did you stay in Kansas City the whole time?
Oh, yeah. He's from Kansas City.
Okay. Where did he grow up?
Independence.
Okay.
So
that's why he was working at
Family's
Independence.
here. I don't think I'd ever leave.
So is your family still in Hardin?
So my brother lives in the house I grew up in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is really cool because my nephews were in the house. They're in the room I grew up in. They got my room, and they didn't have the green carpet I had. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
But, they grew up on the farm, and, he still has it. So it's kind of nice to go back to for the holidays.
So it's on like land.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
I mean, does everybody live on land out there?
No.
Okay.
There's town.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
How many stoplights?
There's no stoplights.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's
so it's a town.
It's stop sign. They have stop signs.
Yeah, a lot of intersections.
It's a cute little town. I mean,
Do you like small town?
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
I would totally go back. I would have. Well, I take that back. Now it would be hard. I tried to get Mike to move back, but it's hard to go from city to the small town.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we needed milk,
it
might have been a couple of days before I knew my mom was going to go to the grocery store.
Sure.
So it's just different.
It's interesting because we've moved a couple times inside of Kansas City, but even the last house we lived in, we were 10 minutes from a grocery store, but it was like outside of the city, and you do think like, should I stop at the store on the way home? I don't want to have to go.
Right.
Which like, now I could walk to a grocery store, so it's not.
Yeah. I mean, my brother and sister-in-law had 3 boys, and she would get like 3 gallons of milk at a time because she said, I'm not going to the grocery store in a couple
Katie had some
days.
friends in college that she moved out to South Dakota, and they were cattle farmers, and so like they would have to pack like an ice chest to keep stuff cold enough on the way home.
Well, I think about that. Sometimes we would have our groceries in the car for an hour.
Yeah.
And I sometimes I'm running errands. I'm like, it's fine. Yeah. They're fine in the car. Yeah. Ours used to sit in the car for an hour. No big deal. Yeah. But you do have to think about these things.
I know. It's just such a different, I don't know, lifestyle. Yeah. But sometimes I think maybe it would be better.
I think it's a great way to raise your kids. I wish my kids had that experience. Yeah. I mean, they have other experiences, but
I don't know. It's all like on a spectrum because we could live in Manhattan, right, and be way more on that end of the spectrum. Right. I would say we're probably closer to small town than we are to like big city living.
Yeah, just the things like raising animals and we had cattle and we had pigs. I just it was kind of a nice project. Yeah. Oh yeah, we were in FFA and 4-H, all the. I have my corduroy jacket.
Oh,
I should have worn that for you.
You should have worn that.
I could wear my jacket. Darn it.
Do you still have it?
I do have it.
Oh, nice.
And it still fits.
Nice.
But it's like cardboard. It's very
rigid.
Stiff and
yeah.
But
I don't feel like anything I wore in high school would fit me anymore.
Well, I will.
Yeah.
Sweats. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but mine too, really. But it was a jacket.
Yeah, sure.
So.
That's still pretty impressive.
Oh. Yeah, it was. I was in FFA. I was the secretary here by the ear of corn. I had a whole thing I had to say before the meetings. So
yeah.
But I love it. I love a small town.
Okay, so then you had kids. Mm-hmm. You stayed home with the kids after that?
No. I used to. My sister-in-law and I. See, I've done a lot of things.
I want to hear.
We had a. This will be shocking because we had a business for about 12 years that we designed wedding invitations.
Nice.
So it allowed me to stay home.
Yeah.
So I was able to.
So you kind of ran the business. It was just you and her.
It was just her and I. And it was online. We didn't have any products at our house. We just had to design.
I did not know this about you.
We designed. We sent the customer a proof, and then we sent it to the print shop. And done.
How did you get into that?
My mom's husband owns a print shop. Okay. So he kind of got us into it and said, we really could use somebody to start a wedding line. And so that's what we did. And it was fun. It was fun to be creative and make pretty
So did you mostly just do the work, or were you marketing? And
well, we did it all.
Yeah.
We did it all. Yeah, we would. That was, how long ago? 15 years ago.
But if you did it for 12 years.
Yeah. I did it until Cal was almost in kindergarten. So.
Which was 5 years ago?
Yeah. Maybe preschool. I don't know.
Okay.
But they were. I sent them to preschool because I was working, so it was about that time. So, but it was a good gig. It was great, except for whenever our policy was we had to give a proof within 24 hours. So if we went on a vacation,
you had to
I would if we went on a beach vacation, for example, I would go out on the patio or on the balcony and work at 6 a.m. until the kids woke up so I could go join them on the beach. I mean, I had to get stuff. It was.
See, Katie's in real estate. My wife is in real estate, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it. But there are times when it's like, I got to work. I mean, it's happening right now. It's not, I can't wait till this evening.
Customer needs you right now. Yeah.
So there is that downside.
Yeah.
Did you like owning a business more, or did you like working as an employee more?
I don't know. There are benefits about both.
I mean, they're totally different jobs too.
Oh,
what you were doing versus
I mean, it was
before,
nice to be able to leave work behind on a Friday.
for sure.
And come
Not
back
think
on
about
Monday.
it.
Yeah. But the flexibility, you can't beat the flexibility of owning your own business.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go meet my friends for lunch if I wanted, or go meet Mike, or, go see my mom. I mean, I think owning a business was probably my favorite, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did miss the interaction with people because I would sit at home.
Oh, because it's all online.
Oh, God. I would sit at home, and I finally started taking my computer to coffee shops.
Yeah.
And I became really good friends with baristas.
Of course you did.
And I even got invited to a going away party for a
goodness.
barista.
That's amazing.
But it was, what
was your go-to coffee shop around here?
Well, when we moved to the North Lane, I'd go to Head Rush, and I would work there a lot. They have a nice little lobby.
I love Head
there.
Rush,
I like it. But when we used to live down by the plaza. I'd go to, Starbucks, or I blew a breaker at one of them, one of the Starbucks with my computer.
Sorry, guys.
I kind of just moved to another table and ignored it. I mean, it just kind of went poof. And then I was like, ooh, nobody noticed. So I went over to another. It's the one on 39th Street. Sorry, Starbucks on 39th Street.
Sorry if anybody still works there.
I know. I showed the kids which one it was the other day. And they're like, I think it's still working.
You're going to get like a lawsuit
right,
in the mail.
I know. Sorry. But I would go to several different coffee shops. In fact, I had a really good idea. I wanted to get a scooter, like a Vespa.
Yeah.
Is that called a scooter? I don't know.
Yeah, Vespa.
And I wanted to just put my computer in the back and drive to different coffee shops and work there. And Mike was like, that is not a good idea.
It would be so cool.
It would be cool, but he thought I would get hit.
Get a reputation. People would know, like, oh, it's that lady.
There she is. Yeah. But he thought I would get hurt, so he didn't think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
But
would you consider yourself a risk taker?
No.
What about Mike?
Well, maybe when I was before kids. Now I'm like super, no way. No.
I mean, I feel like Vespa's pretty
one of
risky.
us. Well, I know, but I didn't have kids then.
Yeah.
But now, no way. I'm such a mom now.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to do anything. I don't know.
It does change your priorities.
What about you?
Sure.
Are you a risk taker?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, again, it's all on a spectrum. I'm probably less than, if there's a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely risky, I'm probably like less than 5.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. My brother is, he's a big outdoorsy guy. They hike mountains and all the time. I mean, big hikes,
Yeah.
And we're going to go to Yellowstone this summer, and he wants us to hike in Yellowstone. I'm so terrified of a bear attacking us.
I mean, that's a thing out there.
He thinks I'm silly. He says, oh, we'll have bear spray.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I mean, they say you have to be faster than the slowest, right?
Person, yeah.
My mom's going,
Okay,
so
yeah.
I think I can beat her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just not that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of terrifies me.
I guess I was thinking more in terms of like, whatever, starting a business. I mean, like there's risks like that aren't like
that kind of risk
sure. Your life.
Yeah, that kind of risk, sure, I would take that.
Okay.
Because in fact, so in that perspective, I guess Mike is not the risk taker. I am,
but he has his own practice,
right? But he wouldn't. He was not going to. He was working for someone for a long time for a company, and I was like, just do it. Just
okay. So you are a little bit more.
So I guess I'm not worried about. I don't know. I guess I wasn't worried about what would happen on the. I never thought about us failing at it.
Is that it? Like, is it that you just really don't think about it, or like for me, it's more. I feel like I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think that. I think I just figure. I think we'll figure it out.
I'm good on my toes.
Yeah, we'll be fine. When he started the business, and it was from scratch.
Yeah,
we're just kind of praying that the phones would ring
for sure.
But I think he was kind of nervous. But I was like, listen, we're okay. It's fine. Yeah. We'll be all right.
How long did it take before you went like, oh, this was the right call?
Gosh, he'd answer that better than me. But I mean, at least a year. I mean, the phone Liberty was growing so much, so that was a no-brainer to come to Liberty. It's a growing place, but he is not a risk taker because even to get married, I don't think he would have ever got married if I didn't say, "Listen, buddy,
lay down the law."
It's been a while. We've been dating for a while. And even kids, having
kids. If you
like
it, you got to put a ring on it.
Yeah, that's right. That sounds terrible, but that's true. No, but even kids. I mean, he wasn't sure he wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
And that was a risk for him. And I was like, let's do this. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Is he a prepper, a planner?
I don't think so much a planner. Yeah. No, that's why he has the girls in the office.
They get that done.
They help him. Yes, a lot. Thank God for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But then he does that at home. He looks at me like, hey, do this for me. You know, like I'm supposed to manage his life. And I do. And that's my job. But, yeah.
Okay. So you were famously one of our best customers ever. Everyone here loves you. You just walked in the back and everybody's like, oh, I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you so much.
They all just love you. And we had such a good experience. I would say the hospitality was just over the moon that you offered. Where does that come from? Like, is that you? Did you grow up that way?
I don't know. I guess.
Where do you get that from?
I like to please people. I'm a people pleaser.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe my mom's
that way. But
there's
people pleasers that aren't hospitable.
I don't know.
It's like a gift. Making people feel welcome.
Well, if you make them feel welcome, they're happy. And, you know, I think it's probably my mom. My mom is like that. I don't know.
She?
Yeah. I don't know. It makes me happy to make them happy. And they'll do good work if they're happy, right?
Do you feel like your kids will get that from you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about my son. Maybe my daughter. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think so. It's just, I'm a nurturer.
Is it intentional? Like you're going like, okay, these people are coming. Like I'm going to go out of my way to make them feel welcome here. Or is it just like innate in you? Okay.
For sure. Like the guys doing the windows today.
You're thinking constantly like, how can I?
The guys doing the windows at our house today, I tell him, make himself at home. I tell him, use the fridge, whatever. I mean, I want him to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So.
But you just think that's from growing up. Did you have jobs where like you saw people not treat people that way that made you notice more, or like?
I don't know.
Did you ever work in like this, like as a waitress or the service industry or anything?
I worked at Sonic in Richmond. I mean, that was one of my first
Sonic,
jobs.
So,
I mean, yeah. I think it may be a small town thing. Maybe Mike always tells me like the small town hospitality, or he.
That's a thing.
Yeah, he. If we need a reservation for somewhere that's hard to get into, he'll call. He won't get it. I'll call, I'll get it, because he's, if you're nicer, he's like, you call.
There's something that, like, we talk about small towns, like, that is one thing that even in the place, even in Kansas City, you don't really have the, like, hospitableness as much.
Right.
Like, I feel like the further out you get, like, we're doing a job in Lawson right now, and they're just the nicest people. Like, they'll do anything for you. I think you just feel like someone driving down the road, like, the chances are they'll stop and help me if I need something.
Or they'll wave on the road, too.
Right.
That's the thing.
Like, I don't even know this guy. He's out here like, hey, great to see you.
Yeah, that's definitely a small town thing, I think, and you could trust people more out there.
Right.
And,
that's part of it, for sure.
Not as much of a risk, I guess, but, yeah, definitely a small town thing. I mean, I miss that. I do miss that with people, but. Yeah.
Again, like, you were just a great customer. If you had to give advice, because it's not an easy process to go through. It's dusty, it's messy, there's people in your house.
Right.
Do you, like, what advice would you have for people that are thinking about doing one or getting ready to start a renovation?
Gosh, don't sweat the petty stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be done, and there's an end into this, and it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to love it. If it's loud, go take the dog for a walk. Go do something. I mean, don't suffer. Don't nitpick. That's silly. I mean, your guys were great. They were so nice when they came in every day. They were, they cleaned up. They're like my friends.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
They're the best.
I kind of missed them by the time they left, honestly.
Are you a people person? Like, would you have people around all the time? Yes. Or do you need time to yourself?
Very little time by myself. That's why I like them being there.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's, like, my wife will go to, like, a event or something where it's just people everywhere. And we get home and she's like, oh, that was amazing. And I'm like so exhausted.
Oh, yeah,
so drained.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you get energy from being around people?
Yes. So Mike and I mean, we're starting to get a little more introverted, I guess, but any event we go to, a social event, we're usually the last ones to leave. And we like it that way.
Yeah.
I like to be the last. Sometimes I've cleaned up after a wedding reception.
We used to volunteer and do Young Life in Topeka. And we had one of the guys that he had been doing it for a long time. He has kids now. Like, he's still having Young Life stuff at his house. But yeah, like asking people to leave, especially like high school kids. I don't have anywhere to go. They'll stay all night.
Yeah.
So he would just start vacuuming like under their feet.
Yep. That's the.
And it would be like, I guess we'll leave.
Yep. It's
like, I'm not going to tell you to leave, but
Right.
I'm just going to start vacuuming. You get the message.
That's the message for sure. Well, it's either leave or help clean up. That's what you have to do. Yeah.
We had one time we went to was it like Pie 5? It was one of those pizza places where you make your own pizza.
I've never been there.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, we were down at one like off 39th Street.
Okay.
Downtown. And I don't even think it was close to closing time, but we were the only ones in there. And Katie and I are eating. We're in a booth, and we're just eating. And literally, we're the only people in the restaurant. So maybe they were thinking like we could close early if we weren't here. But this girl comes over and just starts like vacuuming. She's like, "Can you lift your feet?"
Oh shit.
Like, okay.
Do you want me to leave? I mean, it's time. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Like, if you're the manager, you would just be mortified if you knew that was happening.
Yes.
But
I know. Yeah, I've been in that situation where I'm like, oh shoot, what time are you closing? And then like, oh yeah, we closed 10 minutes ago, and then I feel like a jerk for being in there too long. But.
See, Katie is way more thoughtful than me, so like we won't even go to a restaurant if it's closing in the next hour. She's
I'm the same. Mike's like, oh, they have to serve us.
Yeah.
No, let's be nice. We'll go somewhere else. You know. But yeah, I get it. See, she
is super thoughtful. She's definitely
you're a lucky man.
Her mom, Sandy, shout out Sandy.
Yeah.
She is like, her number one priority is like everyone else is comfortable. Yeah. Everyone else is happy. Like, even if it makes her unhappy, she's going to make everyone else happy. Sure. And so there's some of that's like, okay, well, you can be happy too.
Right.
But, you don't have to suffer or sacrifice to the point where, it makes you unhappy, which is usually my argument to Katie. Like, I'm like, well, okay, but it's like if we go to a table and we know there's going to be 20 people eating dinner together, Katie will go sit on the very end because everyone else wants to talk.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I want to talk too.
Right. I never take the middle of a table. I don't either. I always think somebody else.
You guys are two peas in a pod.
And I also don't take the seat that is facing the restaurant first because I feel like other people want that one. You don't want your back to the restaurant. Let them have that seat.
They want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
See, you guys are just nicer than me, I think.
We try. I mean, you
guys
are lucky fellas.
There's like a running joke at the McQuarrie house. It just happened. That's my wife's maiden name.
Okay.
It just happened again on Sunday. We were over there. Nobody will take the last of anything. Oh, like if there's one piece left, they'll just break it in half.
Oh, that's funny.
And so like there'll be like an eighth of a cookie left because nobody wanted to take the last one.
Oh, my household will take the last one. Every one of them will.
Yeah, I probably will too.
Yeah.
But the McQuarries won't. They're better than me.
Well, that's nice though. They're thoughtful.
It is. Yeah. It's definitely comes from a good place.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep everybody happy and
right. My son, I take that back. My son will ask me, I love Reese's, and if he has something that's Reese's, he'll ask me if I want the last bite or do you want some of it? So there's hope.
There's something really precious about kids offering up to share.
That is, yeah.
Even my littles will do that sometimes. Like,
so you're doing something right.
I'm like,
I know.
That's so sweet. I don't even want to bite, but just the fact that you're offering is so nice.
And I might take one just because you offered.
I don't want to eat out of your yogurt tube that you
or lick it off your fingers. I've done that many times.
No, there's definitely like an endearingness about that quality that makes you feel good. Yes. I don't know. I feel like in parenting, you got to just take those wins as they come.
Oh, I know.
Anytime they do something sweet, you're like, okay,
I know.
we're okay.
You. Yes. My teenager is very quiet. Mm-hmm. And I am one of the things that we struggle with her is communication with adults. Yeah. And man, she's making strides. I'm feeling like I'm a good parent.
You're getting there?
Oh God, she's doing much better. The communication of like, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? It was always very like, hi, how are you? Like really quiet. Or the eye contact.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
So
hard.
We're working.
It
We're
is hard
working
as
on
a
it.
kid, but I
Yeah.
do feel like that's a really good life skill.
Yeah.
And the kids that can do it
Right.
are like, wow.
I just, are they born that way, that it's easier for them? Because she has friends that I say, they're going to kill the interview. You're never going to get a job because you don't talk
My
to
mom
people.
used to tell me, you're never going to get a girlfriend eating like that.
Oh, that's
'Cause I'm
funny.
just
Oh, yeah. Yes.
whatever.
Yeah. Well, she must. Then she fixed. She
Yeah,
fixed
see?
you.
She fixed me, I guess. No, that's interesting because, yeah, I think that I tell Vera all the time, like, well, we could just be friendly.
Yeah.
And we can just say hello
Yes.
and ask
Yeah.
them how they are.
Right.
And that's hard for her. So I've been pushing her. I do think some of it is your nature.
Yeah.
You can just be a more
Right.
friendly person.
Right.
My sister used to, when we were young, like, my parents would try, like, you're going to call and order the pizza.
Oh yeah.
Here's what you need to say. And she just
That
would.
just killed her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. That would be.
But
my
so I do
son.
think some of it is your
Yeah.
nature.
I think so.
But even if it's not, I do feel like it's a valuable life skill
Yeah.
to
And you
learn how to do it.
You have to teach a healthy balance because some kids.
Oh,
We have a
never
neighbor
shut
kid
up.
that would go home with anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk by their house and she's like, "Can I go home with you?" And the parents aren't outside. You got to
Yeah.
teach a little
There's
stranger
a fine
danger.
line there. Yeah.
My kids never left my side when they were little, so I didn't ever have to worry about.
I just saw a video the other day of this mom. This girl stole. What happened? Oh no, she took a library book and she colored all over it.
Oh, little stinker.
So they bought a new copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she made her walk into the library and say, "I'm so sorry I colored all over your book. Here's a new version."
Yeah, yeah.
But they had to like practice what she was going to say.
Right. Oh,
because
yeah.
She was so nervous. But
That would be ours.
I do feel like that leaves a lasting impression
Yeah,
as
right.
a kid.
Did you do that stuff when you were little? I bet
I mean,
you
I
did.
definitely stole I don't know why I did it, but we would go garage sailing. My mom
yeah.
loved to go garage
Yeah.
sail. And I stole a little airplane. I think it had Alvin the chipmunk in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, toy.
Yeah.
And I just took it. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think
Right.
to myself, like,
Right.
taking it,
Right.
getting away with it.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if I asked for it. I
Right.
just was playing with it in the car. And my mom was like, where'd you get that?
Oh, no,
And
yeah.
I was like,
Oops.
back there. So she made me go back. And
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good mom. That's a hard lesson too.
Here's the worst one. Maybe not the worst one.
Oh, no.
Here's the one that was the biggest. I, in 4th grade, how old's Cal?
He's 4th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here I am. Don't think less of me after this story.
I won't. I promise.
We got a worksheet that was like, get to know your textbook
Oh yeah.
thing
Yeah.
in social studies. And so it's like, where can I find the chapter about whatever, the Civil War?
Okay.
And you're supposed to like look in the index,
Right.
find the page number,
Yes.
and that's your answer.
Okay.
And I wrote like in the middle.
Oh.
I mean, that's where it is.
It's a true statement.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not lying.
What page or where is the whatever glossary at the end? So when I got the worksheet back, it was 0 out
Right.
of 20.
Yeah.
And if you got
But they were correct.
got a failing grade, this is the worst part. She gave me like every chance to fix it. You got a chance to redo it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, redo what? These are all right.
So you were being a smarty pants.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like trying to be a smart aleck. I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't see an issue here.
I mean, as a parent, I'd be kind of proud of you
Yeah,
because
I
it
guess
is
so.
kind of.
So I did that. Well, here's where you would not be proud of me. So then I did it again. I think it went up to like a 4 out of 20. So
Okay.
then she was like, you need to take this home and get this signed by your parent
Okay. Yeah.
so that they
We've
know
had that. Yeah.
you. So what I did was, because I learned cursive in 4th grade, just forged my dad's signature.
Stop. Oh, now you're in trouble.
Perfect cursive, like to the T. And it was, not only was it perfect cursive, but it was also like a giant eraser smudge around the whole thing because
yeah.
I had redone it
Gosh,
like
yeah.
6 times.
Yep.
And so I'm like, got away with it,
right.
She
knew.
And yeah, she knew. So parent-teacher conferences were like right then.
Yep.
And the teacher was like, is this your signature, Mr. Raines?
Oh, She called you out.
No.
Oh my! Were you sitting there
No,
during the?
I wasn't there.
Because some of the conferences now they have the kids sit in.
No, I wasn't there. So they came home just
I bet they were mad. Oh my gosh!
Because I lied and I hid and
all
the things. So
Cal pulled a funny one in fourth grade. My friend was his teacher, so he felt like he could get by with.
Okay.
He's a jokester. He is funny. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's funny. But they had to write a story about what they're going to be when they get older, or what kind of adult they're going to be, or something like that. And so he starts his paragraph as, "When I'm a big daddy, I'm going to," and I'm just like, oh my God, he doesn't just write like, "When I'm older, when I'm a big daddy," and he wrote, "I'm going to party all the time and I'm going to drink beer." I mean, he wrote all the things that you don't want him to write, And my friend, his teacher, she takes a screenshot of it, she sends it to me and she's like, "This is hilarious."
Yeah.
And I, as a parent, I was not humorous. I was mad. So he comes home and I said, why would you write that? DFS is going to be calling me because they're going to think this is our way of life, But he said, "I just thought since she's your friend, she would think he was trying to entertain." Because that's what he does. But I made him rewrite it, and he did write appropriate things the second time. But he does things like that. Yeah. He also used to write, even like in first grade, you know how you have to write your name at the top? He would write like Dr. Byars instead of his name. Yeah. Or he would give himself different titles, like Sir Byars. And I'm just, I get it. It's funny. Yeah. But write your name. You're not really following the directions. Yeah. But he, funny. He does little things like that.
So also in fourth grade, that was a bad year for me.
Oh no.
I had gotten another, this was with you had like a homeroom teacher, but then you went to other classes for different whatever. So in my actual class, I gotten a couple of bad grades on worksheets. And so this is so stupid. I was such a dumb kid. Sometimes I look at my wife and I'm like, kids are so dumb. I think they can just get away with whatever.
Right.
So I had gotten these worksheets and I took them home and I'm like, they can never know. My parents can never know.
Yeah.
So normally you would think I would throw them away.
Right.
But I was worried they would open the trash can to go to throw something away and see.
And you were hiding them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I decided to do was we had these big curtains that pooled on the ground. Mm-hmm. And so there was a big whatever. It was the 90s. And so I just lifted up that big pile of curtain and stuck them under there. And I figured
they'll never find
that. They will literally never find
right.
And by the time they do, we'll all have a laugh about it. Yeah. It'll be, I'll be 40.
Oh God, you wish.
I didn't really think much about it. So I was out riding my bike with my friends on the street and my mom just comes out of the house with them in her hand screaming. No. And she's like, I don't know if I'm more mad that you did this, or that you thought I would never clean under the curtains.
So how long did it take her to find them?
I mean, was it a couple weeks?
Yeah. At my house, it'd take a year. I hate to say. I mean, it would take me a long time. My kids probably hide a lot from me under the curtains.
It was not a great year for me. I don't know.
Well, maybe you were just trying to figure out who you were.
I feel like at some point, I remember I never did that good in school. Yeah. And then in sixth grade, all of a sudden I was just getting A's and everything became something in my brain just
maybe
flipped.
You finally applied yourself.
I didn't though. I didn't try any harder.
Right. Well, I don't know.
I think sometimes your brain just kind of gets over the hump or goes through some sort of
right
change and figures things out.
Yeah. I'm not sure I ever got there. I don't know.
I don't know if my kids, I think they're both pretty smart, but I feel like most people feel like their kids are smart.
I know.
So I don't know.
I know. There's those parents that think
they're
their
smart,
kids are the smartest and the most athletic.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. But that,
man, kids sports, that's a whole other thing you're in the
oh dear.
Throes.
Don't even get me started on, I mean, I love it. I love every minute of it. I wouldn't change it for anything. I love being at tournaments every weekend. That is our life.
What sports are you? What do you do?
So my daughter is the one that won't say no, and she loves it all. She's in volleyball, club volleyball, club softball. She dives in the summer. I don't know if she'll do that again. What else does she do? Softball, volleyball. I mean, those are year round. Yeah. So right now they're like this weekend, she has a volleyball tournament and a softball tournament.
Ooh.
So she is going to play volleyball on Saturday morning and then miss 2 games for softball and go play softball in the evening. I mean, she's got all day.
Wow.
She's going to be exhausted. And now that she's going into high school, there's also weight training for high school. So she's got and she does track. Track is also today.
Will she pick one in high school, or will she try to do?
I think you have to. Well, they're the same season in Missouri.
Yeah.
Kansas, they're not. So I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do.
Because Katie, my wife, played club volleyball all year and played soccer and swam and did all the things.
I'm glad that they love that, and I'm glad that it keeps them out of trouble, I think. I mean, it keeps them busy, keeps them healthy, but sometimes it is overwhelming. And you hate to disappoint. I mean, you hate to disappoint a team and a coach if they can't make both. You know, you can't be at both places at the same time. Yeah. My son plays baseball. He loves baseball.
Is that it? He's a baseball guy?
That's kind of his thing. I mean, I tried to get him to run track, and he said, eh. And I don't know, I guess because it's your second kid, you're like, whatever. I'm not going to make
whatever you want.
Yeah. We don't have time for anything else, so it's fine if you just want to do baseball. But
he plays year-round? Or
I mean.
they have fall ball and spring ball?
Yeah, they have fall ball and spring ball. Yeah, I mean, they take breaks here and there, but that's it. I mean, he plays basketball.
You said how old?
He's 10.
Okay.
So, basketball, but it's just the parochial league, and it's kind of just fun. So, he's not very aggressive, so he doesn't go for like the soccer. Was not his thing. If you have to chase after a ball, he told me one time, he goes, Mom, I think I'll be a golfer. And I said, probably so. Because it's kind of, he's not, well, yeah. But, you know, if he's got the ball, somebody could come take it from him pretty easy. He's just kind of, he's like, yeah, whatever.
You do you.
You go ahead. Take the ball. It's fine.
Well, he doesn't not going to affect my life.
No, he's like, whatever. Just fun. So he just wants to have
See,
fun.
I feel like that's a much better mindset to have that a lot of kids don't have because their parents are so like crazy about it.
And along with the sports comes private lessons. And, you know, if especially for a boy, unfortunately, if a boy doesn't want to play, I feel like baseball, if they want to take a year off of baseball, good luck getting back on a team. I mean, because if you take 1 year off, you've got, and then next year you want to play, you got to beat the streets at tryouts to try to make a team. And if there is a spot, there might not be a spot.
See, I have a buddy that played for a couple years professionally, played baseball. And now he like runs a baseball like little team league and has like a hitting factory.
Oh, yeah.
That's his full-time job.
Yeah. Well, they're expensive.
Shout out, Bubby Williams.
He's probably making a lot of money.
The Ducks. He runs the Oregon Ducks.
The Ducks. The Ducks are good.
Yeah.
Oh, we never like to play the Ducks. We don't like to play when we see the Ducks, we're like, oh, great. I mean, they're good.
Rolled.
Oh, they're good. They're very good. But that's a good organization. But yeah, I mean, that's a good way of life, I would
See,
guess.
I feel like as a kid, I'm like, man, you just have to devote so much.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
and then you might get burned out. I mean, it's different than when we were little. I mean, it's definitely.
Even I, like, by the time because I grew up in Liberty, so I graduated with 560 kids in my class.
Wow.
So if you're at high school, you've got freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors all vying for those 10 spots.
Right.
You got 1,000 kids trying to get those 10 spots.
Yeah.
And it gets competitive.
Oh, yeah.
And I wrestled. So, like, depending on your weight, there's one spot.
Yeah.
And if you weren't you didn't grow up doing it, there's no way you're playing.
You can't just say, if you're 14, you can't say, I decided I'm going to play baseball today. No way.
My wife went to North Kansas City, and it was a lot less that way. There was a lot more international students that don't grow up like that.
Yeah.
And so there was just less competition for the teams, and so she got to play soccer. She didn't grow up playing soccer. She just got to play and be part of the team, and it was fun.
Well,
and
go
I'm
to a small town.
That's, I feel like, what it's for.
Right.
We've turned it into the minor leagues for Division I sports, which now is even me in high school, everyone was asking, are you going to play in college?
Right.
It's like, I'm so glad now I didn't play in college because I got to have a college experience.
Right. I mean, now in high schools, it's like you're lucky even to make the C team. And if you don't make the C team, there's not even a rec. That's not even the rec team. Good luck getting on a team at all.
Yeah.
See, if you grew up in a small town, you get to play everything. I mean, we had probably 7 on my basketball team, and I was a starter.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Nice. I wasn't very good, but that's just how it goes.
I don't know. I had a buddy that grew up playing baseball. That was his thing.
Yeah.
And then he didn't make the team. He didn't make JV.
So crazy.
And he was good.
Wow.
But they have favorites, and they grew up on the club together and whatever. And that was it. you can't play.
Right.
Which is just crazy.
It is crazy. I asked our daughter, maybe over the summer, I said, what's your goal here on these sports that you're playing? Like, what are we looking at? What are you wanting
14.
to do? Yeah,
so
she's 14.
Freshman or?
She'll be a freshman next year. She's 8th grade. And she said, I just want to compete in high school. And I said, that is music to my ears. Perfect. I don't care. I mean, if you decide you want to play college, fine. But I don't want her to go to a college based on
just to play.
A scholarship that might be in some small school that she doesn't get the good college experience. Yeah. I mean, I went to Mizzou. I had a great college experience.
Fantastic
experience. I don't want her to go somewhere that maybe it's tiny and she doesn't have the same experience. But, I mean, there's good things, too, about that.
Sure.
But
just different.
I just want her to have the experience she's looking for.
Well, for me, it was like, okay, because I got really into track when I was late in high school.
I heard you did the 300 hurdles.
I did do the 300 hurdles.
That's the hardest event.
I loved it. I didn't love a lot of sports. I just played because it was like fun to be on the team and whatever, something to do. But I loved track. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, maybe I run in college. But like, I'm going to go to Baker or Park or something. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to run at Notre Dame.
Well, it might have been cheaper than Mizzou.
Yeah.
Did they have the A+ program when you were? Mm-hmm. See, they didn't have that for me. So
yeah, I didn't do it because it was only community colleges. So you couldn't, like, I could go to Maple Woods and do classes, but I couldn't go to like a 4-year school and get it.
That's nice though.
Katie did it because actually Sandy, her mom, was the A+ coordinator for North Carolina City.
Wow.
So Katie did it, and then in the summers she would take like gen eds at community college. Mm-hmm. So then they would transfer in, and she didn't have to pay for them at Mizzou.
Yeah.
And actually, one semester even, is that right? Yeah, I think it was during college. Mm-hmm. She still lived in the dorms, and I think she took a class or something at Mizzou. But then the rest of her credits she took at like Columbia Community College and got it for free.
There? Oh, I took a class at Columbia. Oh, yeah, I took anatomy and physiology.
I took anatomy and physiology, but I took it at Mizzou.
See, I had a D in it, so I decided to drop it. And this is terrible, but we took it at Columbia. My friend and I, we dropped at Mizzou and took it at Columbia. And we used to go to Trops. Remember Trops?
Yeah, they had slushies.
Yes,
like
and
alcoholic
and they would
slushies.
be in just plain cups, and we would go get one,
and
we drank it during class, and I got an A.
I haven't heard the word Trops in a long time.
Oh yeah, Trops is still there. It is. We go there sometimes on the way to the lake. But sorry, I didn't mean to change the subject. But but sometimes sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get that grade.
So you're hoping maybe if she's thinking just high school, that also takes the pressure off.
Oh yeah.
So then it's like, who cares?
I told her, enjoy intramurals. That's fun.
100%.
I just want her.
Great time.
Yeah, I just want my kids to be able to. I mean, when Mike and I met, we had so much fun being on co-ed, just social softball teams, or we played kickball. I just want them to be able to go out and have fun with friends and swing a bat, whatever. Later in life, I mean, of course, right now it's fun to watch them compete. I mean, I hope they do well. I want them to have success and. The discipline you learn.
I was talking this a little bit with Elena, but it's like there is like life lessons to learn.
Oh, sure.
From playing sports.
Oh,
how to be on a team.
100%.
Like being
how to
there
have
for
a
other
coach,
people. Yeah.
Following instructions.
Take direction. 100%. So there are things that are like, those are valuable life skills that I want you to learn.
Right.
How to work hard and like get better.
Right.
And
you have a team that is counting on you.
For sure.
And you all have a team in life too.
I do think there's an element that's like, people don't just win. Right. They work hard and they get better and then they win.
Yeah.
And so like, I want my kids to learn that, but I don't want it to become like, this is it for me.
Right.
And I don't know, like that's a fine line.
Yeah.
But that would be music to my ears too if they said, I just want to play in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
she just wants to be good in high school and then move on. And that's perfect for me. I don't need her to.
Because even then, I had an old boss, and his son played football, and he was really good, and he got recruited, and he went to play at Air Force Academy.
Oh yeah.
He was a linebacker, and then he got there, had a health issue, and then it was over.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yep, sorry.
Oh gosh.
Like you work your whole life.
It's disappointing. Yeah.
For that.
Right. Yeah. That's
the other things. Like you can get hurt and then it doesn't matter.
Right. Or overusage, like these, gymnasts that are hurting themselves.
It happens to baseball players too, right? Like their elbows.
Tommy John.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Well, My 10-year-old pitches, and I'm his catcher.
Ah,
so
nice.
I'm not very good.
How are the knees?
No, I sit on a bucket.
Oh, nice.
I do. Even the coach is like, really, it would be better if you got down. I was like, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm on the bucket. But he's 10, and I can still catch for him. But a year or two, I'm out. I'm not. We didn't have softball in school at my school, so I try my best. But he does constantly tell me that I'm not a very good catcher.
Okay.
And of course he tells me I'm not throwing very hard because it's you, Mom. I'm like, yeah, you're throwing plenty hard, buddy. It's fine. I think he tries to use that as an excuse for
why he's not. He's
trying his hardest. He acts like he thinks he's gonna hurt me, but I try my best. But once they hit you, it hurts.
Yeah, sure.
Especially right on the shin. I mean, forget it. I'm out.
I never. Well, that's not true. I guess I played catcher a little bit. I was not good at baseball.
Yeah.
I was like a generally athletic kid, but my depth perception was never good. And I could not hit a ball.
Right.
I was fine, like, fielding, but I could not hit to save my life. And I'm sure, like, it was just torture for my parents to go watch me strike out.
Maybe.
Like, they're like, oh, well, this isn't going to be entertaining for me.
And they hear the other parents over there saying, oh, great, he's up to
They're putting him up.
Oh, he's at the end of the lineup. I mean, there you are coming out there.
I was
trying
not
your
good.
best.
My poor dad went to every game, and I was not good. But I remember I just played like Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
It was not like a competitive league. And one summer, like baseball's starting, and the neighborhood kids are like, oh, yeah, which team are you on? And so I go ask my mom. She's like, well, I didn't sign you up. And I'm like, what?
Oh.
But I think it was maybe a gentle, like, this is not your game.
Shoot. Oh, well. Maybe it was a gentle way of saying we're tired of watching you strike out every time.
Exactly.
Oh, that is hard as a parent. I will say that's hard because, not just you feel bad for your kid.
Yeah.
You want your kid to succeed and have some confidence, but striking out every time is awful.
It's brutal.
I mean, but.
Yeah, I even like with my kids now being as young as they are, like if a kid doesn't want to play with them, I'm like,
I know, right? Yeah. It is sad. It starts so early.
Jerk over here. Let me set them straight.
Do you remember? You're probably too young to remember that show, that movie, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Did you ever see that? Oh, it was this nanny that happened. They were at the playground. Some kid was mean to the little kid. Or the kid she was nannying. She went over and shook him. I'm like, I would like to do that sometimes. Sometimes kids are mean, and if nobody's looking, I would like to.
I remember when my sister was in high school, my mom got this book that was like. I don't remember what it was called, but it dissected like the modern teenage girl hierarchy of like there's a queen bee and there's a whatever, and it like assigned all the roles. And I remember that was like kind of eye opening for her in terms of like how the mean girl thing works and how they team up and gang up and
it happens.
Like, oh, golly, I'm not looking forward to that.
I know. My daughter's so quiet. I ask her if some of the girls at school, there's some strong personalities, I'll say. And she says, they don't bother me. I think it's because she doesn't give them what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes bullies are looking for a reaction.
Yeah.
She wouldn't react. She's just kind of like to herself. Yeah. So maybe that's the best way to be.
Maybe that is the best
Just don't react.
We told our daughter goes to like a preschool, and they said, and Vera Kate, I love my Vera Kate. She has a tendency to be express what she wants.
Oh yeah.
And they said she has really strong leadership tendencies.
Oh, she's a little leader.
I mean, she tries to boss everybody
she's
around
the boss.
all the time.
That's cute.
I'm like, oh boy.
Well,
that doesn't always go well.
That's okay. Got to have a boss and you got to have followers. I'm a follower for sure.
See,
you're probably a boss.
I don't know. I never felt like I fit into that spectrum. I guess probably more of a leader. I definitely don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I heard you were talking. See, I've listened to your podcast.
At you.
I know.
Your research.
You were talking about when you're on a group. When you're in groups for school.
Oh yeah.
And are you the one who does the work?
Yeah.
Or are you the one who presents? You're the presenter.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
the
leader.
presenter.
That is a leader.
I guess I looked at it as like all I got to do is just present it.
No way. I would have never.
Really?
I would have done all the work.
See, that's interesting.
So I didn't have to present. So
do
you're
you have
a leader?
like some people? There was some Jerry Seinfeld skit or something where he said like there's people. Their number one fear in life is public speaking more than death. That means they'd rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy.
Yeah, probably. That might be me.
Do you feel that way, really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would.
Look at you. Now you're out
I know,
for
right?
the world
Here I
to
am.
see.
I know. You don't know how many drinks I had before I came here. No. I mean, I would.
Did you stop by Trops on the way here?
I may have had a few drinks. No, but yeah, I hated being, and I still do, in front of people.
Interesting.
But I'll help as much as I can.
What is the fear of it? You're just going to say something you don't mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say the wrong thing. People might be judging me by the way I look, by what I say. Say the wrong thing. I just don't want to put myself in that position. So I'll do all the work, I guess, behind the scenes.
I don't know what it is. My mom used to always say, "Oh, you just have confidence. You just are so confident."
That's good.
And I never felt that confident. Yeah. But then when I look at maybe compared to other people, I'm confident. But I don't feel like, everyone thinks I'm the man.
Right.
But
so I do have to brag on you because you are confident. Because when you came over, back to your work, when you came over and looked at our bathroom, I've told you before that was the biggest. It was. I was impressed with the fact that you were confident enough to get up in our attic and look at stuff.
I guess.
So
there you go. Well,
we had a funky wall that people came and gave us a bid, and they said, "Yeah, the wall just stay." They didn't know what it meant, what it was there for.
Yeah, sure.
But you got up in our attic and you rummaged around up there on it. You did like the Spider-Man crawl up the wall. I don't know. I tried to get you a ladder, but
that's probably just me being unprepared.
Well, I don't know.
Having a ladder.
Well, you did it, and but it was impressive. But you just got up there, and you made sure you did it right.
Well, it hasn't fallen down yet.
No, it hasn't. It's fine so far, so good. But one guy just took the baseboard off and just looked in there, and he said, I think it's got to stay. Like he didn't even really know what it was. And that baseboard, he never put it back on. It was like that for like a year until you came out there.
Golly.
Yeah. So see,
I do feel like the bar for contractors is pretty low in general.
Stop. Well,
I feel like people, if you show up, do what you say you're going to do, and don't have your butt hanging out for the world to see, then people are like, wow, this guy is great.
Well, that is important. A lot of people don't show up, and even when in the middle of the project, your guys were there every day when they said they'd be, and they worked their tail off. They didn't. I don't care if they take breaks. Take as many breaks as you want, but they were working all day. So,
yeah, they work hard.
Yeah, and you gave us actually a number. I told you there was one guy that didn't even give us a number, didn't I? Because what was under our floor, like mud.
Oh, the mud pan, yeah.
He said, I'm not even, he was not interested. So that must have been a mess. I don't think we were there when you all did the
it was
the
a mess.
demo.
But that's fine.
I'm sure it was
we got it.
It was a good thing I wasn't there.
It's fine.
See?
It's over. Ancient history.
It's fine. I remember seeing, I don't remember where we were, but when you all were taking that big old jacuzzi tub out, I was so excited to get that thing out of there because it took up so much space.
Sure.
I remember our little security camera came on, it went off, and I saw them carrying that thing out the front door, and I thought, oh my God, they got it out. Yeah. It was so exciting.
Those things are everywhere, and everyone wants them out.
They just take up so much
space. I could
space.
Start a business that all we do is take out jacuzzi tubs. I bet I could stay busy.
Do you cut them out? What do you do?
Sometimes it depends on the door size, or if you have to go around a corner.
Well, one guy told us that looked at our bathroom. He said they were going to have to go out a window with it. Yeah. So, but you all didn't. Yeah. Somehow you got it out.
You can usually. Sometimes I feel like people just want to make it sound like their job is harder than it needs to be.
Well, you all did a nice job.
Well,
you got
thanks.
It out. So I'm glad to have that thing gone.
Have you guys liked the bathroom?
Oh, yeah. It's so nice. Mike loves that seat you made. Oh, God. He sits in that shower bench. Our son even likes it. He comes in our bathroom.
I get it. My parents got their bathroom redone when I was in high school, and I went in there every day. I'm like, I'm not showering in the tub anymore. Right, yeah. I'm going in here. Yeah. This place is awesome.
Oh, it's so nice. It's just so nice and fresh and clean, and, when I clean it, but the finish is clean. But it's just so nice to have done. And it's so much, it's just pretty. And I don't know. I love it. But when we use that bathtub now.
Yeah. So. See, and making an effort.
And we weren't even using, and you know that, we weren't even using that bathroom. We weren't using our master bathroom. We were walking down the hall to use the kids' bathroom because we were afraid it was leaking at the grout. Yeah. So, which maybe it wasn't, but, and that shower was tiny. It was the original. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, well, you majorly upgraded.
We
did. Looks great.
Oh, it looks good. It's so nice.
And now we got this potential kitchen.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to have an
amazing.
island.
See, I'm trying to get Mike to do the golf simulator in the basement. That's what I think he really needs.
You're going to be mad because I was a good wife. And I said, why don't you just go play more real golf? And I think he was like, well, good idea. Yeah. I mean, like, I was waiting for you to say that. But it is hard in Missouri. I mean, it's cold in winter.
You get 4 months a year, really, that you can go do that.
And with all the tournaments that we have, Oh, sure. He gets Friday, Well,
before I had kids, when we lived in Topeka, there was like a membership there where there was like 6 courses you could go to. You pay this one membership, and then you could go play.
Okay.
But if you walked and didn't get a cart, it was all included.
Okay.
So I would go play like 3 holes.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel bad because I'm like, it's paid for.
Yeah.
So that was great. Yeah. But like if you're paying per round or you're paying,
And it takes a long time to get around
for 5 hours.
I mean, my God. Yeah. He would love for me to play golf, but
I was going to ask
it takes a long time.
Do you ever play?
Well, for some reason when the kids were little, it was easier because when I was working, I had a college girl come over to the house and she would watch the kids when they were little. And I would just ask her to stay a little longer. He would go on Thursday night. It was fun. It was kind of our date night. He'd go on Thursday night, get in 9 holes, and I would meet him for the last 9.
Yeah.
And then we'd go in and have a burger. And that was our date night. But I have no interest in 18. Yeah. I mean, it's just my attention span.
Did you play the 9?
Yeah, I played them. But I'd pick the ball up. Terrible. No. I'd pick the ball up. I'd throw it. I don't care. I never kept score, but it was just sitting out there together. I would tee off and then
Katie wouldn't even play. She would just drive the cart.
I would try. I tried. And it was fun. I enjoy it. I'm just terrible at it.
Yeah.
And I just don't care if I'm terrible.
Did you get any better through the course of
going? Yeah, I did. I took some lessons.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah, okay. So you played a little bit.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, and he says, why don't you during the day go play golf? Well, it's just not what I choose to do with my time. I don't know. I should. I mean, I could probably get pretty good if I would.
If you walk,
take
it's
some
good
lessons
exercise.
And
go walk.
Right. But
that's like there's some old quote that says like golf is just a good walk ruined or something.
Oh, well, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. But if you walk, you got to carry the bag.
It's true.
I mean,
but it makes a good exercise then.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you can get the little pull cart.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I should play more.
So now you don't really play much anymore.
No, but I know he wants to play a lot when he retires, so he has this dream that we'll play a lot when he's retired.
How long?
I might play a little.
Because how old is Mike?
He's 52. I know.
Oh, man.
I know.
He doesn't look 52.
Okay. I'm not going to tell him you said that.
Well, he'll hear it.
Oh, yeah, he better.
I got you, Mike.
Is he going to watch us? I don't know. We'll see. No, he's 52. He is.
Has he planned to work for a long time?
Well, he's expanding, so he better.
Oh, man.
He's
okay.
Yeah,
they're expanding right
now. Well, it's just building on to.
Oh, okay.
I think he's adding maybe 4 chairs. I don't know. So he's going to get an associate.
Gotcha.
The plan is, I believe that you get an associate and they eventually take over the entire.
Phase out.
Yeah. So, and it would allow him to take more vacations because someone else will be there.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I always tease him that since we had kids late in life, we have a 4th grader and I'm 46 and he's 52. I mean, we're the oldest parents in 4th grade.
Are you?
I think we are. But that's
46,
okay. But
so you had kids at 36?
36. Yeah, I had him at 36. 32 and 36.
See, so Katie's 34.
Have some more.
We're having a baby.
I would have more. Have another after this one.
No way. She's my body is done. She's I cannot take this anymore.
I wish I would have had the 3rd, but you're on 3.
So we have a 3,
yeah. But the joke is that he wants to, be a snowbird and wants to go to Arizona in the winter, and I'm not sure that he's going to wait for Cal to graduate high school to leave me.
Oh.
I think he's going to be in Arizona playing golf in the winter.
A couple weeks.
He'll be like, so how was graduation? I think it was great, So I don't know. I don't know if he'll wait. No, he will.
He definitely will.
He probably not long after Cal graduates. I think he'll retire.
So that's 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts him at 60.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's easier to say you're going to leave, and then when it comes time, I think he'll say, maybe 5 more years.
My dad talked about retiring for a long time, and he retired right when he turned 65.
And what did he do?
He worked at Hallmark.
Yeah,
he was an engineer.
Okay.
But he worked in Liberty at the Hallmark distribution center. I mean, he worked at a lot of different places. When I was growing up, he worked at Guy's Potato Chips.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the best.
Right, yes.
Because we can't
find
chips
those
all the
anymore.
time.
those are hard to find.
And then when they do like bring your parent to school day, he would come with like a box of chips, and everybody got awesome. Chips.
Oh, they loved him.
I mean,
they thought he was the best.
I was the king.
At
that point.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I remember one time. It's so funny. Like, you have these little flashbulb memories, from different times. Like, I don't remember much about second grade, but I remember this specific moment. And I can picture him in front of the class, and he's sitting on a box of chips. Oh. Like, he's sitting talking to the class. And it has, like, the guy's Chips logo on the front of the box. Right. And he's talking, and one of the kids in my class just goes, "What's in the box?" Like, interrupts
They just can't wait. Like, what is in that box? There's an animal. They probably thought there was some kind of a...
I think they knew there was some treats.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm sure they did. They just couldn't wait to get to him.
But anyway, he talked about retirement for a long time. And it was something he was really looking forward to for a long time. And then when it came time, he was like, I don't know. Should I do it? Should I wait? Should I keep going?
Sure.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not quite as cut and dry.
Right, it's not. What about your mom? What did she do?
She had a bunch of different jobs growing up. Most of the time she worked part-time. When we were like growing up,
right?
And so she stayed home. She would like get like little part-time jobs or kind of odd jobs. I remember she would like go over Christmas and like fluff Christmas trees at like the store where they have the fake ones and go like build them and make them, decorate them. Like, she would do that every year. She would do like 10 key, like data entry.
Yeah.
She was so fast.
Where did she do that?
I don't know. It was like for some company that needed it. Okay. They would just send her home like a.
So she did it from home. That's nice. Yeah. Wow.
Just enter it all.
You just heard that noise all the time.
Yeah. But then maybe like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, she started working at Heartland Camp and Conference Center, which is like a summer camp and conference center in Parkville.
Oh.
It's kind of off 45.
Okay.
So it's close to you guys.
Yeah, it is close. Okay.
If you take 45 like all the way down to 435.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's down there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out there. And so she worked there as the camp registrar.
Okay.
And she loved it. Aww, she absolutely loved it. Because
it
was like the college kids would come in and be like the summer staff. And she was always like the mom of all those kids. And had a snack drawer.
Oh,
and
yeah. Oh, he got
Debbie's Snack Shack.
Oh, see, she's a good woman. Oh, I would love that.
She was very loved out there. So she just retired this past year.
Oh, good for her. Okay.
But she's still out there all the time.
Yeah.
And loves it. So she did that. And I mean, it's just, I think, to be around people. And
she's a people person.
She's 100% a people person. And my dad is definitely way more introverted.
Oh.
Engineer.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I landed somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
That's okay. I definitely have that engineer in me. I mean, that's what I got my degree in.
Yeah.
But I'm more... I like to be a little entertainer sometimes too.
I know. I heard about your dancing at the Dallas wedding, at Cameron's wedding.
Here's the thing. It just comes out of me. I can't control it.
Certain songs come on and you just can't help yourself.
No, Katie thinks it's hilarious. And a lot of times I'll end up doing it just to make Katie laugh.
Yeah.
But
that's a good husband. That's good.
It's fine. She's like, "Are you going to go out there?" I'm like,
twist my arm.
But okay.
So when Mike and I got married, the preacher, we were required, I think, 3 sessions with him before he married us.
Yeah, like premarital.
Yeah. And he would ask us questions that were really relevant. I mean, things I thought, oh, man, I never thought about that. Yeah. Some finances finance questions.
Yeah.
How much will you spend? How much do you have to talk about before you spend? You know, all that. What's the number?
Yeah.
But one thing he asked us, which one of you are the attention seeker? And we both were like, well, we both like attention, you know. And because when we would go to weddings, he was always the one that broke out the worm. And, he would do the worm and he would stand up. There's fluid all over the front of him because people are spilling everywhere. And, I mean, he just had, he would do the worm. And then I always wanted to one-up him. So I'd be like, I'm going to stand up on this chair and dance or on a table. And so we were really bad about one-upping each other. So we were... he said, one of you have got to let go of that. And we both went, no.
Yeah,
who's going to, but I did. It was me. I gave it. But now I kind of think we're reversing again. Maybe I'm taking over again. Yeah. He can't do the worm anymore. It hurts. It hurts his back. Oh my God. He hasn't done it for years. I mean, but I think if he tried, it would hurt. So, but I can still dance on the table.
See? So. There you go. So now it's your time to shine.
It's my time.
Yeah.
I'm 46 and it's time for me to dance.
Katie doesn't like attention nearly as much as I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't love attention when people are expecting me to be the center of attention. Yeah. I don't like that.
You have to sneak up on them with it.
But I will do it if I feel like I want to do it.
Maybe a little liquid courage.
Yeah.
I mean, that
helps.
Me. Yeah,
that
for
helps.
Sure. It does help. But, well.
I don't know. We have fun at weddings. We used to tell people we would, they could pay us and we'll come get the party started on the dance floor.
I heard that on the podcast. I think that's a great idea. That would be a fun
It
job.
actually is a thing.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Do you know who Tiffany Haddish is? She's an actress. She's had a couple of she's been like a game show host and different things.
I don't know her.
Anyway, I watched an interview with her one time. She was on like Letterman or something.
Yeah.
But that's how she got started. She was like a party starter. And she would come just like make people feel comfortable and get people out on the dance floor.
Yes.
And
have you ever crashed a wedding?
No, never.
Oh, we did once.
You did?
We were the party starters until we got
at
caught.
The wedding you crashed?
Yes, we were terrible.
Gosh.
So there were.
Wait,
it was
I need some backstory. Yeah.
Well, we were at the Elms,
Okay.
and that's where we got married, actually.
Okay, yeah.
But we were at the Elms just for a weekend with another couple. I think it was before we had kids, and there was a wedding. So we're like, ooh, that's, we had a dress, we kind of could blend. So we were kind of dressed for a wedding, and I think we went to dinner or something. And so we had a few drinks and got to know the bride's dad, the father of the bride. And so we're like, we just started walking, kind of sneaking in, started dancing on the dance floor, and we were having so much fun. But my friend took it too far. She, what was that song? Lay down the boogie. She laid down, kicks her arms or kicks her legs and her arms like a dying bug, and she has a dress on, and it is not really appropriate. And the bride came over. No, it was one of the bridesmaids came over and grabbed her by the arm and said, "Who do you know here?" And we got kicked out. I'm like, you took it too far. We were having so much fun.
Yeah.
We were dancing. I mean, we were having fun with all of them, and we blended in. So, but then when you take it too far, you get caught.
I wonder if they remember, like if the bride remembers, like
probably.
those people.
I know those trashy people.
See, I don't know that I could ever.
Wedding.
I don't know that I could ever have fun. I would be too worried about getting caught.
Well, it was fun. I wasn't worried. It was kind of fun to get caught, really. That's, it was innocent fun.
See, I don't know. Katie lives her life free from worry for the most part. She's like, I don't know. If I need to worry about it, then I'll worry about it when it happens.
Yeah, right. See?
And I'm like, yeah.
Innocent fun is good. I will tell you, I taught my daughter and her friends some innocent fun the other night. They had a little dance at the school, and there were 5 of them, I think, I had to pick up. And they all wanted to stay the night. So I'm like, yeah, sure, stay the night. It's fine. So on our way back to our house, I said, let's stop and have a little fun. So we stopped in Briarcliff, and there's some really nice statues there. Mm-hmm. So I had them posed by all these statues, and they just giggled so much. They thought it was the funnest thing to pose with these statues. And actually, one time my daughter and my mom and I did it, and there was a policeman that came through. We got the police called on us. But it was innocent
100%.
fun, and it was fine. But innocent fun like that, I think it's fine. Just having a good time.
There's a big, and I don't know how long it's been there. It was probably after you left Mizzou, but by the business school, there's a bronze tiger.
The tiger, yes, it wasn't.
So you got to
there,
climb on the tiger to get a picture. But the Mizzou PD is all over that.
Oh, are they?
A fan of that.
Yeah. Did you know that I drove the helmet car at Mizzou?
What?
I did. I know. See, these are things you don't know.
You're a legend.
I kind of am.
Oh my gosh.
No, so
how did you get the job?
Well, I only did it twice at 2 games. You had to. So I was on the student athletic board.
Okay.
We wore the bumblebees. Probably didn't have them.
No.
Probably not when you were there, but they were really dorky polo shirts that were bumblebee striped, black and gold, with a white collar. And so our job was we had to volunteer at all the games. So we had to pick up trash after or put up the tents for the tailgating, and you had to get so many service hours. So I got enough service hours that I got to drive the helmet car with a friend.
See.
But one time when we drove it's a golf cart,
Yeah.
It was only powered so much that they said if you let off the gas, it's going to die. And back then they let us drive across the field. I don't think they let you anymore.
They go around.
Oh yeah, and the cheerleaders were darting in front of us, doing their flips, and we couldn't let off the gas. We're like, we are going to take out a cheerleader. But we did not. And they also told us don't let Truman jump on it. And we did.
Yeah.
We were like, well, if Truman wants to jump
Truman's
on it.
going to do what Truman does.
Yeah, he did. So, but it was fun. I also had 50-yard line tickets. And when we went into, I don't remember how many overtime, triple overtime with KU at the Hearn Center back in the day.
Yeah.
I was there. We beat them. It was so exciting.
Yeah, I got to have some fun because I was there from 2007 to 2011. And the football team was really good.
Okay.
And
yeah.
we played
like
KU at Arrowhead, Chase Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for all that.
That era. That was
got to storm the field.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Did you ever tear the goal post down?
I never was a participant, but yes, I was there when
I was there.
happened.
I never pulled on it, but yeah.
They
You didn't get arrested?
No, never got arrested. It was funny because we had rushed the field. We beat Oklahoma. They were number 1 in the country. And we beat them at home, and so we all rushed the field.
Yeah.
And they were arresting kids that were on the field. Mm-hmm. And then Mizzou, had gotten, a picture of the field. It was, all the students were on the field. And it had, the score of the game. And it was, in a commemorative frame. They were selling it at the bookstore.
Could you see yourself?
Well, no, but then I remember the student council was like, wait, you can't arrest kids and then make money off of the
That's true.
picture.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine if you could see yourself getting tackled by the policeman?
They're like, no. So I think they ended up, dropping all of the
charges
on the kids that got arrested.
Yeah. I know. I always wondered how they pick which one. The slowest kid?
Yeah, just one that you think you can grab.
You catch. One that you think is just going to cry.
Well, and then they
crumble.
brought in crowd control.
Oh, yeah.
And so there was all these people that I'm sure were making $8 an hour to stand there.
They're not going to risk somebody
and we were
hurting them.
Because Katie and I were both in these Christian sorority fraternity things. And so we were in the Greek section. So all the kids, we didn't really drink. So we wouldn't be at Reactor drinking before the game.
Sure.
So none of them would come until halfway through the first quarter because they were all drinking. So we would get front row because nobody else was there.
Yeah.
And then by the time the game started, everyone behind us, it's full and they're all very feeling good. Yeah. So then
nice time.
We're going to win. It's clear they're all going to storm the field. And there's people behind us yelling at these very underpaid people we're coming and you can't stop us.
You might as well just step aside.
And the people are like, don't hurt me.
Right. I know.
Just please don't hurt me.
And even if you don't want to storm the field, if you're in the front,
you're going.
You just gotta go. I mean,
I told Katie, you better stand up on this wall before this starts, or you're gonna get trampled.
Oh yeah, but that's the fun of it.
It was so fun.
So fun, but kind of risky, I guess. See,
totally.
You're a risk taker.
There you go.
You are a risk
officially.
Taker.
I'll label myself.
Those are fun times.
I just had such a great experience there.
Yeah, I did too.
Just good memories.
Going from such a small town to Mizzou is the best thing probably for me. Because it was...
just opens your eyes to the world.
Culture shock, everything. Yeah. It was... how you get paired with a roommate you've never met,
Sure.
I got paired with, the best possible scenario probably for me, but a shocking one is she was from Chicago, and she probably thought, oh, I've got this lame farm kid.
Little.
And she was a cheerleader, actually. So it was fun for me because I got some of the benefits of her being a cheerleader. I got to go to some of the sporting things with her, but and she was Jewish. So I had never had a Jewish friend before.
Yeah,
and
that's a real difference.
I learned so much from her. And she learned from me. She took me home. I took her home. And
that's fun.
She had never really been on a farm before. And I went to the city with her, and it was fun. But we were a good match. I know.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Did you live in the dorm?
I did.
Did you have a bad match?
My roommate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I picked mine coming in. It was a friend from high school that was going to Mizzou too.
Well, that's good though.
It was good. We ended up. He took a little different path than me in college.
Yeah.
But
did it keep you from being outgoing and social and meeting people, you think, or did it?
No, because we had. So when I started at Mizzou, they had what they called FIGs, freshman interest groups. Yeah. And so you lived on a floor in the dorm with all these people that were in all your classes.
Right.
And so I feel like I met everybody anyway.
Were you engineering from the get-go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I didn't declare a major until junior year.
Yeah.
It was a rough go.
Katie started as business and then switched to communication. And so that was kind of, she kind of changed around some.
Sure.
But so I met people there, and then I was involved in some stuff and met people. I did they had a club team where you basically like intramurals, but I raced mountain bikes, and so you get to go to like different schools and race, and so you met people there, and so no, it was great. It was just all around good. We had my dad went to college, but he was really like the first one of his family to ever go. Yeah. And he went to community college just out of purely like a financial decision. Yeah. And then went as a junior, went to K-State. Okay. And he was like, man, I just want you to be able to go all 4 years and like have that experience. And so. And
you did.
I did.
Did you graduate in 4?
I did.
Did you? Good for you.
Katie graduated in 3.5.
Oh my!
She's a smarty
brainiac.
Well, really, it was all the summer classes she took from getting A+ hours.
Yeah. We had the opportunity for 3 credit hours at my school, so that's all I could get for college. So it was.
Yeah, I took a bunch of college credits in high school.
See, that is the advantage of the city schools. School. Yeah, that is an advantage for sure. Yeah, I think now they have more, but. At the time, it was world civilization. Oh yeah, I know. Man, I think I got an A.
Is that like a government class?
Yeah, yeah, it was.
A history class?
I think it was through UMKC, and it was virtual back then. I think they put the VHS.
Nice.
And we watched it. We took a test.
Yeah.
But it was that was my only class. So. Yeah. But it was fine. I had at least a little.
Yeah.
A few credits.
I don't know. My wife graduated with a bunch of student debt.
Yeah.
I didn't have a ton, but I had some. Yeah. But now I don't use my degree at all.
Yeah.
She's in real estate. She doesn't use her degree at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not using my biomedical engineering degree to
maybe
size a 2x4.
Right. Yeah. Well,
or even like run a business.
Right.
You know, I would have been probably better off to get a business degree.
Right. You know, that is something Mike and I both talk about. We wish we would have taken more business classes in college because, I mean, no matter what, even with his degree, he still needs a business, business background, and he doesn't have it. I mean,
So I don't know. We're both kind of like, if our kids don't want to go to college, like, that's fine.
Well, I know anymore, as much as it costs, I don't know if that's the right path for everybody anyway.
I was just watching a thing because I know the other day I was reading about like MIT and Harvard, like some of these like very top schools are just putting lectures like online. You can just go watch them for free. Oh, wow. Now, you don't get like credit hours. Right.
But you get the education.
But if you actually want to learn it, then it's free.
There's a lot of people that probably take advantage of that.
I'm sure, but it's the frustrating part is I can't go to interview for a job and say like, I took that class at Harvard. I didn't get credit for it.
Yes.
They're going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. Like people, if you don't have a degree, then a lot. Now, some of it's changing a little bit, but I've heard some of the, especially some of the younger like companies like Facebook and Google and Tesla, they're saying like, we don't care what your qualifications are. We like, can you do this or not? Right. Do you have this skill set or not? And that's like, it seems like a better way to. They don't look
at your transcript.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
No, I tease my brother that he worked his hiney off in school. I mean, he was he bright flight, or he had all the scholarships. I did not, but I had fun. But he. I tease him that how many times has someone asked for your transcript and how many times has someone asked for mine, and mine is not as impressive, but I had a really good time. He never went to Harpo's at Mizzou, which I was shocked by, which I mean I went a couple of times, but I give him a hard time that you should have had a little more fun. You should have let loose a little, but he's successful, and that's
but you just get so I think it's the same thing with kids sports too. It's like no one is going to care about this. No. You can go win the state championship and in 10 years no one is going to care.
The parents that are I've met many parents that say, I was the quarterback at my school. I barely missed a scholarship or whatever. Nobody cares when you're 40 something.
Doesn't matter.
It does not matter. I mean, somebody told me recently if they were just a little taller, they would have been whatever. And I'm like, if I were 6'10", I would have been in the WNBA too. I mean, but I mean, we all wish we were something else maybe, but
I guess
got to brag about something.
I just think all that stuff is like, at the end of the day, just figure out how to enjoy your life because it doesn't, nothing you do is really going to have a lasting.
No. I shouldn't even mention it, but when when growing up, my dad always had a quote for us as kids. It was, if you don't have a good time, it's your own fault.
See,
which it's a little, maybe it's a little aggressive. I don't know of a quote, but
I don't know.
But if you live by that, it's kind of.
See, I always ask
smart.
people what their billboard would be if they had a billboard that everybody could see. I feel like that's a pretty good one.
For sure, because if you go into anything with a bad attitude, you're gonna have a terrible time.
Yeah.
So as kids, if we say we were at a wedding and we were having a terrible time, we're bored, he'd be like, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not having a good time, it's your own fault. Like, make it what you want it to be.
I worked a summer at Kanakuk down in southern Missouri. Mm-hmm. And they told us this story when we were, like, during staff training. Mm-hmm. And they said that the founder of the camp had gotten, like, the head leaders, and he got Hungry Hungry Hippos, the little board game.
That's a fun game.
And he like went on this whole explanation about like, this is taken very seriously here. This is, we are the cream of the crop in terms of Hungry Hungry Hippo players.
Okay.
We have a leaderboard. We have a a history of excellence, and just turned it into this whole thing. Yeah. And then it became like this incredibly intense whatever. Everybody was so into it. And then after it was over, he was like, okay, we don't have a history of this game. This is a children's game.
Right.
It's a dumb little board game.
Yes.
But like, I was able to, just by getting you guys engaged, like make it into a thing that you will remember.
Right.
And there's no reason we can't do that with every activity here at
true.
the camp.
Right.
But it's the same thing, right? It's like, if you're not having fun, it's because you're just not, you're choosing not to.
Right. It's no one else's fault.
That's
it's
right.
yours. I mean,
personal
responsibility. Which is a little rough
Oof.
to say, I guess. But I use that on my kids a lot. You know, they say I'm bored. I'm like, well, not my fault. It's your fault. There's plenty of things to do.
Yeah.
You know, you can create a game, entertain yourself. So
Vera, the other day, she was like, do you want to come downstairs with me? Or no, it was go outside. Do you want to go outside with me? And it was the first nice day in a while.
Yeah.
So we went on the back porch. She's like, there's so much to do out here.
Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Oh my gosh, that is really sweet.
Yeah, it was really precious.
Yeah, well.
So kids, you know.
I know. Wow.
Okay, what else you got for the world? A message for the world?
No, I don't know. I don't really have much knowledge.
Byars Dental. Go check it out.
Oh, gosh. I hope he's nice to you. Make an appointment for me.
Yeah.
Because I get booted all the time. Oh. I mean, if I have an appointment, somebody has pain.
Yeah. You're the one getting booted.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay.
I get it. I don't pay, so.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty boring.
You're not. You're the best.
I don't know. I try. I don't know. You're the best. You guys are the best.
We try really hard, and I'm glad you had a good experience. You made our life amazing while we were doing the project. So,
well, thank
you. Come on here.
That is a nice compliment. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, I appreciate you all. I mean, I have a beautiful bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a beautiful kitchen.
We'll do more. Okay.
And knock out a wall or two.
Yeah. Why
it's
not?
It's a big one.
Let's go for it.
Let's just do it.
Okay. That's all for us.
Well,
See you guys next time.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.